Hi, this is Amir Anzur, Chief Marketing Officer at Pakistan Software Export Board, where we run the brand Tech Destination Pakistan. Today, our guest is Nauman Sheikh, who is a tech entrepreneur based in Washington, D.C. He happens to be in Islamabad, so let's find out from him what's happening in the world of AI and how jobs are being replaced, because he's on the ground in the trenches and he's really doing it. So, Nauman, give us your background and why you're so excited and terrified at the same time about this era.
Yeah, certainly. So I started with AI way back when nobody knew about it and nobody cared about it. Back in 2008, I started to use AI for banks to do risk and fraud type of models, anti-money laundering, those type of things that were historically done using mathematics and statistics type of techniques. And I started to use AI for those, and I found it to be very, very effective. And so my journey goes back a long way. In 2012, I wrote a book about how to adopt AI within large enterprises. My background has always been large enterprises, IT departments, as an employee or as a consultant, architect, and so forth. So I've always built very large scale systems. Very large-scale data-driven systems. And then when I started to put AI on top of those data-driven systems, very interesting things started to happen. So my background is like Fortune 500 IT automation using AI. And later half of last 10 years or so, I've started to build products and moved into more of an entrepreneurial role to build products that can help enterprises with AI-driven innovation. So scalability of AI solutions, evolving AI tech from basic ML models that were available back in 2008 to IoT wave that came in the mid 2012 to 2018. There was like a huge shift and focus towards IoT based automation. And then lately, this is all large language models and conversational AI and Gen AI, which is the next wave we are facing. So as part of that, I've evolved with these things to see, okay, if a large enterprise is going to use these things, how they will use it and how they will benefit, what are the challenges. And all of my experience has been hands-on, building actual systems or applications for large organizations that embody AI techniques and AI approaches. So along the way, not only solving the problem, I also have to figure out, okay, what kind of skills do I need? What kind of staff I need? What kind of development process I need? What kind of tooling do I need to support continuous building of these type of applications? So I'm excited and happy to be here, because last few months, what I've been doing is actually proving what the world has been complaining about. So the fear factor, AI is going to replace white collar jobs. That is absolutely true. I am a testament to that firsthand, based on the work that I've been doing for large publicly traded companies in the US. So we can focus on one specific use case, and I'll explain why and how. And then I want to talk about, well, what does that mean if this starts to happen everywhere? Every large corporation starts to jump on this and starts to experiment with this. Then what does that mean for services firms that are serving these large corporations? So that, I think, is going to be the focus of my conversation today.
Excellent. Nauman is the guy. He came in and met him about 18 months ago, and he was telling me stuff that it's taken me 18 months to kind of understand where the world is going. So Nauman, just talk about what's happening, this use case that you worked on, this public traded company, and how you eliminated so many jobs.
Yeah, so they wanted to experiment and see if half of the CFO staff, so finance department within a large corporation, the large global corporation, they wanted to see if they can eliminate half the staff.
How many?
So about 15 or so finance employees, full-time finance employees.
So get rid of 15 out of 30.
Correct. So they wanted to see, can it be done? And it was just like, I said, okay, let's try, go after 15. So if you think about a finance organization within a large global corporation, there are multiple departments and teams, several VPs, several directors that make up that team. So we started with looking at, okay, how do accounts payable and accounts receivable within the finance department work? And we started to follow and understand the employees, the teams that were working, what they were. So when an invoice comes in, they have to pay that invoice. But before you can pay that invoice, you have to validate it's a legitimate invoice. The amount is legitimate based on the contract. The contract is valid. The payment terms need to be identified, and what you have been paying in the past. Are there any past due or overdue? Those type of things. Any outstanding bills they need to look at. So a finance employee, accounting employee, actually sits down, receives the invoice, and then goes through multiple systems and multiple pieces of information to collect all of this. Then makes up a final payment advice. Then that gets to a approval process, depending on the amount. If it's a few $1,000s, maybe it gets automatically approved. If it's above 10,000, a director needs to do it. If above 50,000, maybe a VP needs to approve it. Those kind of policies are common in every finance organization. So we looked at that and we started to see, can an AI agent do this? And the first challenge obviously was to look up information in multiple places. So data became the central piece. AI needed to know where is all of this data that I need to check against. So we had to build integrations into multiple systems, and we were able to successfully do it. So essentially, 80% of invoices now, the AI agent can process, consolidate, approve, and submit for payment. So your financial ERP system, your SAPs, your Microsoft Dynamics, your Oracle Financial, those type of ERP systems will stay there because they are the actual transactional system. They are the ones that are actually going to issue the payment. That does not change. All the work prior to that humans used to do through Excel, through logging into multiple systems. If, let's say, this is a global company, let's say one of the invoices is from Belgium. And Belgium has a rule that in order to pay utility bills, you need to put some GST or some taxation into the government coffers. You don't pay to the vendor, you pay directly into the government's treasury. Now, a lot of times these companies, somebody will actually go look it up on Google. Hey, what's the Belgium's tax policy? And has it changed? Have they changed the rates from 14% to 15%, something like that? They need to stay on top of these things. With the AI agents, a lot of that can be eliminated. So even if we don't eliminate the job, what we do is somebody who was capable of processing maybe 5 invoices a day, they can now do 50 because the agents are fully capable of doing that. So as long as the AI agent is able to talk to multiple systems, is able to understand data in those multiple systems, translate that into a actual execution flow, AI can do wonders. So the problem where companies are going to run into is that, okay, how do we get this agent to talk to 6 different systems? How does it understand which field or which table or which data set it needs to go after within each system? And that's where the gap is in the corporate America or any large corporation in the world, where information like this about existing systems is not readily available in one place where AI can just go and look it up. So what we had to do was we had to first build a semantic map or a knowledge graph of where the information lives within the organization for one use case, which was invoice payments, accounts payable. And so we created a process, we created the skills, we created the tooling, and now we can go to accounts receivables, we can go to cash flow management, we can go to payments reconciliation. There's all kinds of functions within finance that can now be automated once this platform or this framework has been implemented.
Excellent. And how did you do this? You use Copilot, or what did you use?
Yeah, so we evaluated. So right now, for a large public company, all the vendors are pitching their agentic AI platforms and agentic AI capability. So Microsoft, Oracle, AWS, and then even SAP. All of them are now saying, hey, use ours, use ours. So you really have to look into where the organization has existing investment in the platform. And then is that vendor offering some kind of agentic capability? Behind the scenes for all of them, you have the same 3 or 4. Either they're using Claude behind the scenes, they're using ChatGPT behind the scenes, or Google Gemini. So that does not really matter. It's how these companies are taking these models, these large language models, and building them into their infrastructure. Because no corporate would want their data to go out into the LLM's infrastructure. And so each of these vendors is working out a partnership and an arrangement where they can make sure that the data stays within the vendor and does not really go out, and they have to kind of show that to the client that your data is never leaves our premises, never leaves our tenant, never leaves our data centers or our cloud instance, so to speak. And so we used Microsoft's Copilot for this. Still in its infancy. We evaluated several. All of them are in their infancy, so we had to build a lot of pipes around it, a lot of plumbing around it to make them enterprise and scale ready. But very soon, these like next 18 months or so, each of these agentic AI platforms I'm pretty sure will be capable of providing a more stable, more scalable way of doing these things.
But what's happening now? I want to know not 18 months. I want to know in April 2026 what you were able to do that's not in the future, but already able to do and execute for the environment.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at what Elon Musk with their X AI initiative, they are, and then Coworker from Claude, what they're saying is that we can create a bot or an agent that can mimic a user on a screen. So it's usually called a desktop agent, or different company, or Coworker. Different companies are using different branding. So the idea here is that a basic agent can navigate the actual user screen, click on options, menus, drop downs, fill out forms, all of that a human normally does in front of a screen. If a sales order comes in through a fax or something, then a user sits in front of a sales order screen and types up all the details. The desktop agent capability is now there, stable enough. It can do it. It can read from an email, an attachment, or a fax, and it can type up the form as if a user is typing it up, and then press submit, and your order is in place. So you are eliminating that manual human working in front of a computer. That technology is there. But converting that into a complete ecosystem of decision making, that requires a little bit more time. So companies are right now experimenting with smaller use cases where it's more transactional. They do one thing, they go to an agent does that thing and brings it back to them. Everyone is kind of limiting themselves to these type of one-off, where one individual needed to go on the net, log into some system, do some things, and then move forward to my next step. That first step is now getting done. They're experimenting with agent doing it, but not the full job of that individual. But because the workflows, the integrations are not there yet. So agentic orchestration is weak in the current technology. So we had to custom build the pipes around it. And a lot of startups and a lot of tech companies will claim, oh, no, it's there. But are they really enterprise ready? I'm a hands-on guy. Until I actually build it and see that it's enterprise ready, I wouldn't know. And I haven't seen a lot of evidence beyond experiments to confirm that, this thing is ready. So integrations, data nomenclature, and data semantic understanding, and workflow or agentic orchestration. These are the three things that will enable an organization to replace a human with AI. It's not going to be one agent. It's going to be a collection of agents doing different things really well that can come together and complete a person's task. So the basic agentic capability is there. The other pieces will evolve over time.
And what are the opportunities and the downsides for Pakistani companies in this AI world?
So this has become problematic as I see it for two reasons. One is absolute business knowledge of what that workflow looks like how an invoice gets approved. There is a business knowledge behind it fully. So you don't have the opportunity to sit down next to a finance person doing this and kind of follow them along throughout what their day looks like and then document all of that before you can go work on an agent. So the business knowledge is where Pakistani companies lack. They understand technology really well. They're brilliant engineers, but AI-based development requires a lot of business context and a lot of business knowledge. So if you're still dependent on someone else telling you what to do, then you are going to miss the boat, because code generation through AI is becoming so easy. They might as well say, you know what? Since I have to tell you everything, I might as well tell that to ChatGPT and ask it to generate the code for me or write the application for me. And it is getting there. It's very good at doing that. So you miss out on that entire opportunity. So business knowledge is going to be a big problem. Finance and accounting for a textile manufacturer versus finance and accounting for a bank versus finance and accounting for a large supply chain manufacturing company is totally different. You need to know the context and the business domain, and unfortunately we lack that because we do not have local industry and local enterprises that are adopting technology. So basic automation is missing in the local industry, which means data is missing, which means ability for AI to help them is missing. So if that's missing in the local industry, how are you going to train your people in doing this? And if you cannot train them, then where is this domain knowledge going to come from? If you're just a services company, you probably did a financial project for a client, you spent 6 months on it, and then that was it. You don't know what happened before, you don't know what happened after, and a lot of times when you turn over that project, the client team actually takes it into production, takes it into deployment, and runs through its life cycle over the next few years. You don't get to learn from it. You just finish the application and hand it over. So by design, services companies lack the depth in business knowledge. And with AI-based development, that's going to become a big impediment.
So what can we do about it? Especially as government, as Pakistan Software Export Board, what should we be doing?
So I have some very interesting ideas from a government standpoint. If you move towards e-government, for example, so you want to register a car you just bought at the local DMV or motor vehicle registration, you go through a lot of I'm sure there's some process, there's some workflows, there's some paperwork that moves along and gets this done. If you automate that entire thing, you ask local companies to come in and help you with that, but make it AI ready, so that from the get-go you're taking care of the integrations or the data and the other challenges that I talked about are there from the get-go, then your companies will learn how to do that, how to run a system end-to-end, how to run an agentic workflow end-to-end. So government can take any piece of their function, from export and customs side to motor vehicle side to procurement side, taxation side. You can pick any one and allow local companies to come in and help automate, but build it with an agentic or an AI mindset so that you help the government get better. And along the way, you pick up the skills which you can then start to pitch to other industries, to other countries, I'm sorry.
So you're promoting a Made in Pakistan policy so that we have local companies that learn the skills and then start exporting.
I am. This is going to be absolutely critical because BPO, business process outsourcing, is another area where Pakistan has some significant footprint, right? Those are actually better equipped to move to AI development than AI tech company, because they are already embedded into a business process. They understand what happens, what people do, and how it gets done. So for them to create an agent which can do that. So let's say if they are a call center for a product manufacturer, some CPG company or B2C product company in US or Europe. Pakistan runs their call center, right? So if you run their call center, you are already embedded into their business processes, and your staff is trained in what they need to do, which screen they go to, how do they respond to customer inquiries, how do they chase down the issues and solve them. They know all of that. But they have limitation of 50 seats, let's say. So they have 50 call center seats. If they can create agentic AI, which can replace that call center trained rep with AI, now they no longer have the limitation of 50 seats. They can go to other clients. Hey, we can run your entire call center and we will run it for a fraction of the cost. Look at our AI capability to run a call center, and they can then expand like exponentially, because they no longer need the bodies. If their AI is scalable, then they can run 1,000, 50,000, 100,000 employee call center just from their original 50 staff, supported by AI. So I see them better equipped, but they traditionally have not been tech companies. They have been more focused on BPO side of it. So that the combination is the key to success here.
So are we in trouble in terms of jobs, in terms of a lot of call center people losing their jobs?
We are, definitely, because the call center agentic AI capability is coming. A lot of companies are experimenting with that. There are some challenges, but some good progress as well. So they will eliminate call center jobs. And so if you can move faster and show them how AI can actually do it, which is what you're trying to do, then maybe they change your contract. You become their IT or technology service provider rather than a call center seat provider, and you can kind of move in that direction.
Okay, excellent. Any other messages for people watching the Tech Destination Pakistan podcast?
I mean, see, as I said, business domain expertise, even a gas station, or like what we call here a petrol station. When you go to a petrol station and you fill up a car, if I ask a lot of the engineers, hey, walk me through the entire process. How does that petrol get into your car? They will not be able to do it. And so they wouldn't know where the petrol comes from, how often does it come from, where does it go from there, how does it get filled out, and then who keeps track of how much has been sold. All these kind of things you need to learn about a business in order to help that business with AI. So because our engineers, our manpower lacks that business knowledge, they finish school, engineering school, computer science school, STEM school, they go directly into a tech services company and they start dealing with engineering. They never work on the applied side of it as to what is the business. And so, but this lack of business knowledge, LLMs themselves or these large language models help you. You ask them, hey, what should a supply chain software look like or process look like? The LLMs will tell you, they'll walk you through every single step, how products come into a warehouse, how products are stored in shelves, how somebody picks them up, packages them up, sends to a customer. A lot of that business knowledge, you just have to ask the right question. The Gen AI will teach you. So it's not like we have to work in a warehouse in order to learn anymore. A lot of the basics you can just pick up from learning from the technology, from Gen AI technology.
Excellent. And how are you personally using AI? Are you using Claude or ChatGPT, and which one's better, or what use cases do you use in your personal life?
I use multiple for everything, because I want to see what are they really doing. And the more I interact with them and the more I learn how they respond from a prompt standpoint, the better I see the output. And there is no one fits all kind of situation here. I have found Claude to be really good in certain things. I have found Gemini to be really good at certain things, and ChatGPT to be really good at certain things. So you really have to test out in your particular use case, whatever you're trying to do, which one is giving you better output. But for that, you need to have that capability to evaluate the output. If you're simply relying on it to give you an answer, it will give you an answer. Is it a good enough answer? Unless you have a separate way of checking into that, you wouldn't know. So I do that a lot. As I said, I've been doing this for a very long time, AI systems since 2008. I have a lot of background knowledge where I can see what it's doing and where it's tripping and the internal workings. But I don't expect everyone to kind of have that type of depth in where they can understand why AI said something and why it would say something different if I change something in the prompt. So a few tips I can provide: think of the LLMs or these chat GPTs of the world, think of them as a highly qualified PhD as your personal assistant, but does not know anything about what you are trying to do with it. So the more specific, more explicit you are with your question, and the more instructions you can provide to the LLM, that hey, you can ask about what's a good lawyer. It'll tell you what a good lawyer is, but it doesn't know if you wanted to hire one or if you wanted to become one, right? So the more you tell it, the more you talk to it as if it's your coach or your mentor, the better it gets. And then when it gives you an output and there is a mistake in there, or you see something, you say, okay, give me all of this information, but don't do this because I don't like the way you're presenting information, or you're going on a tangent. So you keep talking to it. After a few iterations, it will give you what you're exactly looking for. So getting to that iteration requires a certain mindset. I would encourage everybody to keep playing, take a difficult topic and start, for example, Pakistan's economy turning around. Use that as a topic and start interacting with AI and see what it does. And then keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and try to get it to give you the right answer that starts to make sense. This is a complex topic. It can go into any kinds of dimensions. So you need to learn how to control the LLM from like moving on a tangent that does not concern you.
Excellent. Nauman Sheikh, thank you so much for being on. If people want to connect with you or follow you, how can they do that?
I'm unfortunately not much of a social media person, so I don't know what following would do, but I'm on LinkedIn. I respond to messages on LinkedIn as well. I respond to email as well. I'm still old school, so I don't use a lot of social media, but look me up on LinkedIn and drop a message over there. I usually am pretty good at responding to those.
Okay, thank you so much, Nauman Sheikh. He is a true guru in the world of AI. As you heard, he's been doing it since 2008. And so he has so much in-depth knowledge about this subject, and he's always sending me private messages with where AI is going. And I thought it would be great to have him share some of that knowledge with you guys. So thanks a lot for being on the Tech Destination podcast, Nauman Sheikh. This has been Amir Anzur, Chief Marketing Officer at Pakistan Software Export Board. Thank you.